Dave, you are in Australia to talk about AI. So explain how Ring's using AI in your latest technology.
Absolutely. So artificial intelligence has been really at the heart of what we've been doing since we built the company. We've got really advanced computer vision technology, which allow us to do particular types of detection. So we can detect a human versus an animal or a car, for instance, or a package, and give you that type of notification. But AI for us is really about advancing things for the customer. So, we have lots of customers around the world that have told us around the things that they use their devices for. So we've announced just today our smart video search, which is a new feature which allows us to combine AI and computer vision to allow you to use a large language model and actually search for things inside your videos. It's super powerful, it's super inquisitive, and it really just brings the product to life to be able to find those magic things that you necessarily didn't see previously because you didn't notice them. So, great feature that really sort of brings out the, a use of AI and computer vision in a way that really resonates with customers.
So give me an example. Are you sort of saying that there's a period from 9 a.m. when I've left the house, I get home at 6 p.m. and there is something that is, in the driveway, or, something's happened and you're interested in finding out when that happened?
Yeah, so you can literally go in with smart video search and search for anything. So let's say I'm searching for the moment my child was riding the bike for the first time. I can just go in and actually search for children riding a bike, and we'll automatically look through those videos and serve to you those clips of children riding a bike on a particular device. Maybe I'm looking for the delivery driver that came on Wednesday with a package, and we'll be able to narrow that down immediately and show you the clip. There's no scrolling through the clips, there's no going backwards through your history. We can just pick out that moment. It's incredibly powerful. I mean, it's wild what you find, right? Some of the things that I found when I started to search on my devices, I was like, wow, I didn't know that was happening, and it's just magic.
Wow, so you're starting to roll that out in Australia now?
Absolutely. So rolling out from today, customers will be able to use this with a home premium subscription. They can log in and be able to set this up for any one of their devices and very quickly start searching for things that are happening in and around their home using our great technology, which is powered by AI and computer vision.
You just mentioned in and around your home. Now I always think of this as a doorbell, but it's far greater than that. How do people use it mostly?
Well, I mean, often people come in from a single device. They're even buying a doorbell, for instance. You talked earlier about they want to think about what's happening at their door. It tends to be the place that people interact with the home. Or maybe they're buying a camera. Maybe they're looking for that over their backyard, for instance. Yeah. But once you have one, you start to see, well, I could use it in this different way. Maybe I now want one on my driveway. Maybe I now want one that's, maybe inside the home for when I'm out and about. Maybe it's one to keep an eye on the playroom, for instance, and uses that digital referee when the children are playing. So people are using it for various different things, and you start with one, you tend to get more. And the great thing about our devices is they all work seamlessly together. So you can connect these together. You can say if motion detects on one and start recording on another, for instance. And now with smart video search, I don't need to go into each device. I can literally search across all of them, find that magic moment, and hey presto, deliver it within seconds.
So I can see this in a home environment, and I can see it in my home environment being extremely helpful and useful and security, but much more than that. What about if we take it to a business environment? I'd imagine there's all sorts of other concerns when it's in a business environment. Do people use it in businesses? And I suppose I'm thinking businesses with employees might be where it gets a bit grey, but otherwise, do people use it?
Yeah, absolutely they do. I mean, the great thing about our product is it's really easy to set up. And what we find is small business owners in particular, they tend to be their IT expert. They tend to be very similar to home. They're starting out and they want to make sure they're using some of this technology. And traditionally, CCTV and those types of technologies have been quite difficult. I've needed someone to come and install it, some form of IT expert. And with Ring, you simply can set that up yourself and up and running very, very quickly. So we see more and more small businesses around the world, including here in Australia, starting to use our devices for making sure their business is safe as well as home.
So where do we end up in 5 or 10 years? Could you imagine, when we're talking about 34%, I think was the number that I quoted at the beginning, saying of Australians using these sorts of devices. Do you think we end up getting a majority of people using it? Do you think it's just going to become the norm?
Yeah, I do actually think it'll be the norm. The more you use it, the more you become to love it.
Yeah.
We often find with any of these technologies, you buy it maybe for one thing, and then you find a different thing to use it in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I might buy it for security, and then use it to keep an eye on what's happening. I travel around the world. I use it for just keeping an eye up back at home and connecting into moments I otherwise wouldn't have seen. A great example for me is I was on the road in Finland the other year. My son who was just started walking and was out in the garden, and he took his first bicycle ride, and I caught it on my device. I saved it. I've got the video on my phone. It's a moment I wouldn't have seen had I not had Ring. I wouldn't have been there because I was out on the road, and just having that, the power of that, and the emotion that you get from it is beautiful. So yeah, I do think that we'll see more and more people use this technology. It'll become more prevalent in our daily lives, and I think people really start to engage with it and take great fun using it as well.
Yeah, Dave, thank you for talking to Fear and Greed.
Thank you.
That was Dave Ward, Managing Director International at Ring, which is a great supporter of this podcast. This is the Fear and Greed business interview. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, daily business news for people who make their own decisions. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.